Welcome back to Daybreak Africa. If you just tuned in this morning, once again we have another interesting topic. In this case, how best would you know if she is the one or if he is the one? They should probably smile differently, act differently, or maybe cook just the best meal. We don't know, but of course, as always, we have a guest in the house. We have Sylvester Celestine in the house. Should I say a homemade bachelor? Like he was craft. He was made to be a bachelor in life. But hopefully it won't be for long. Hopefully, once again, welcome on Daybreak Africa, Celestine.
Thank you for joining us this morning.
I can see that.
I know you have comments.
You came with something in mind for me today.
No, you're a bachelor, ain't you?
The way you are even, stressing that bachelor with this and that sauce, Maggie. I know you came with.
You're a bachelor. You're homemade.
I'm here for you.
Oh, are you already?
Spiritually and physically.
It's nice to have you here again.
Thank you for having me.
Anyways, today's topic is quite an interesting one. How would he know she is the one for him? So I am asking, please tell us how you will know she is the one, or how did you know she was the one?
No, how would he know he's still the bachelor? How would you know she's the one?
Life.
If you ever meet someone.
I don't understand.
If ever you meet
Ezekiel.
No, perhaps you just...
Ezekiel. I hope this thing ends here.
It should.
The way you are going.
It should.
You see, when you know, you know.
Okay.
When you know, you know.
Very, very easy, very simple.
I don't think it's easy, and see, because you still haven't known.
How many words? See, when you know, you know. Simple.
And 5 words. You said it's easy and
very,
simple.
very simple.
Maybe 5 not for you, but
5 words.
Am
when
I
you know,
lost?
you know.
What's going on right here?
Like I said, when you know. I don't want to stress. I don't want to stress anybody. When you know, you know. Is it not as simple as that? As ABC.
So why haven't you known all your life?
Because I've not seen my own. I've not maybe.
He has not known.
No. Let's just say there is this literature text I read when I was in secondary school. They say the beautiful ones.
Yes.
Maybe still it's still in process.
Are you waiting for her to be born the year 2024, 2025?
I'm waiting on God though.
You're spiritual now.
When you know, you
remember.
So that means
I am the spiritual one on this.
So that means we've not met yet.
You've not met yet.
So when I see, I will know.
You will just know.
I will know.
Do you believe in love at first sight?
Hey, I believe in it too.
The moment you just see someone you have never met before, you're in love immediately.
I believe, in short, that is what I'm expecting.
Does that even exist? Do you believe it exists?
I really do not know if it does exist. I would say probably love at first sight.
No. I think you didn't get the question. The question is, do you believe it exists?
I don't know.
She's clueless.
Hey.
I'm clueless at this point because
maybe you could help her.
I'm anticipating because I believe this 150%.
When you just see her, you know you love her.
You just know you love her without hearing her voice, without knowing if she has mouth odor or something. You just see her and then you know.
You know how you see someone and already, the appearance alone speaks volume. Everything, in short, everything stands still. You get that's how when you look for a word, like how to approach the first word to say, whether to say hi or hello, and you'll be looking for words, when you are talkative. But at that point, at that moment, you can't say anything like for some seconds. She takes your breath away.
It sounds more like either lost or spiritual attack, where you be just lost in thoughts. Everything just go blank.
This one is not lost. Okay. This is a scenario when you find that special one. You get that special one, and everything just stands still for some second. It's not easy. Like time just freeze for seconds.
It's the intentionality used in saying this. It's more like you actually encounter this very often, but you never had the
Ezekiel.
the ability to approach any. No wonder you're still a bachelor. You understand?
I don't
Are you-
understand.
are
Are
you
we
a
supposed
No, I'm
to
trying to-
serve
Ezekiel.
him today?
No, I'm trying to
Are you-
understand
are
his
you- are you-
pain.
Let
at
me
this
understand.
point.
Are you a psychic or
You see, I got it right. That's why it's actually for me to be a psychic.
Because the way you are trying, you are attempting. Though, you've not
Anyways,
gotten it very right.
you
though.
guys asked me a question, so let me answer. It's not like I'm totally clueless. Why I am in doubt if I believe it or not is because when you meet someone for the very first time, yes, you might be drawn to that person. You are attracted to that person, probably because of the physique or just something in particular, probably because of a gesture or something the person said, depending on the whole scenario at the point. So after this, the next step definitely will be a conversation. That is where people determine whether or not they can be with this person. But it doesn't stop there. Some people are not so observant or get to put their hands on things quickly, so they might need more than just that first conversation to be able to identify whether or not this person is the right person for me. So that is the point where I cannot really say if, because there are some people who truly just that person who they cited, they've already fallen in love with that person, and then after so many months, so many weeks, so many years, they are still together and they cannot still find themselves falling out of love for that person. That's why I am saying that I'm not so certain if I believe or do not believe that love at first sight exists. I hope I've been able to convince you and not confuse you.
I think he well understood that. He well understood that. I could see how he's very intentional when listening to you. I tend to wonder at this point. You made mention of the need for everything to stand still when you see her. What are the things the essential qualities you look out for when seeking a partner, let's say, for you?
And I'm looking forward to this peaceful person. Someone that represents peace. You understand? Peace.
Represents peace. More like she doesn't quarrel or antagonize you. Anything you said is more like, yes, my lord.
Always saying yes, my lord is not being sincere. To me, that's not the definition of peace.
Okay, so what's the definition of peace?
Peace, being peaceful is you've seen situation that would have on a normal day, with other people, someone that is not her, you get, would have, drive a particular matter to a certain higher level. Some people makes mountain out of a very little issue, but there are some people that no matter how tedious this issue may be, they will find a way to turn down the volume, make sure everything goes peacefully. In short, if you go after her with this temper, the way she will speak to you will calm you down. She will always have a way to calm you down, no matter how hot-headed you are. So it's not just about saying yes, my lord. To me, that's not being peaceful. Not just about the two of you. It's about in and out of the relationship, whether you are involved or not. Wherever she is, she's always peaceful. She always find a way to create peace and things like that. That is people like that I'm attracted to.
Okay. There usually is a statement made by men, mostly, that
some men.
Yes, that's true. That's a fact. Some, yes.
That when a man sees what he wants, he goes for it. Yeah. So how does a man see what he wants and he goes for it?
But when you have eyes and you can see,
okay,
it should be intentional, because already you already have the picture of what you want, what you like, what you love, what you are looking for.
So it's believed that men have this thing about having a picture of a woman they want to end up with.
I don't know about all the men, I shall know that there are men out there, some men. It may not be everybody, because normally life, there are some people that have their life planned already. It's the same thing. some people have it already in mind, some don't have. You get, it's just when they get there, they will just, dive left and right, and then they arrive at the point. Not everybody that will have that picture, but I'm sure that people that will have the picture already. When you hear of love at first sight, or when you hear like stories like, okay, I saw her at the mall, immediately I saw her, I know she's the one. Things like that, people like that already they've painted this picture. This is the kind of person I want. This is the body structure, the physiques. This is the kind of person I want. So once they see this person, and may seeing it, they look and the scenery, everything just pause for a while, and they will be like, I must approach this person. Even if they mistakenly leave without approaching, they will have to go back. I must talk to this person. I believe there is something peculiar about this particular. I must speak with her. Things like that. You get drawn to the person.
I think most men, some men, whatever context it may be, tend to always have a picture of who they desire. I guess that's where the issue of choice comes in. She has to be slim and tall, fair and short, So it's more like most often men always have what they desire in their heart, but most times they end up with the direct opposite of what they tend to desire, because most times your imaginations are not real. It doesn't really come down to reality most times, because so it's more like you look for what you could easily compromise with and then stick with. You can't have everything you ever desire in your heart purposely. I mean, I don't know if it happens. If it happens, beautiful, but it rarely, I dare say rarely, maybe 1 in 10, 20, or maybe even 100. It doesn't just work, because if I want to desire a good thing, trust me, I will be very specific as to the dots around her eyes, how the shape of her ears. Men could be really we could be very good artists in our hearts most times.
In that case, you should be the one to create.
Exactly. Sometimes you want someone that can talk and not talk at the same time. You want someone that can be clingy and not clingy at the same time. So people can't work always in accordance to your feelings or your desire at the moment. So you just have to just work with what you have at some point. Which brings me to my next question, as the issue of compromise. Usually, if you want to determine your partner, you have to make sure this person aligns with your values and goals. Now, people will say the best way to know if someone aligns with your values and goals is to communicate, discuss, and then you guys will talk about it. But the thing is, at the point of communication, it is one thing to be agreed and one thing to be agreeable. What if don't get lost with the question. I just want to really emphasize, you understand where I'm coming from. Let's say Angela is into me. Maybe I'm a little bit into her.
You're making someone blush.
She always, whenever I say that.
Why do you have to use this example?
I mean, so all could relate. And she always wanted to marry a businessman. And maybe at some point I want to be a pastor. I want to handle the church, maybe one small local church somewhere. And for the fact she loves me, and then we discuss issues as that. Maybe out of emotion, she might be like, okay, let me just stick with you. I love you, so I could just be that pastor's wife, even if she knows deep inside it is never her calling. Maybe at some point we then became agreeable, and then we get married, and then of course I went into pastoring a local church somewhere. And since it's never her intention or her will, there's no way she can actually fill in that gap. She's only been agreeable but not agreed per se. So with this, can you see this settings as more like a fair compromise where our values and our goals align at this point?
If she is the one willing to compromise, if she's the one, like she decides, she choose, not something you force her or you force on her. If it's from her heart, okay, because though this is not what I planned for myself, though from the beginning this is not the kind of man I intended to marry, but as it is now, this is a good man and I love him. What I feel for him is genuine. the intentions, everything may not be 100%, the way I wanted it to be. But out of this, at least I still have like 50% of my plans, what I wanted in a man. She actually thinks about it and then decided on her own to go along with you, marry you. I don't think that's a problem.
Is it not better if she has always wanted to marry a businessman and I've always wanted to be a businessman? At that point we are already agreed already. So it's more like I want to be a pastor and she wants to be a pastor's wife. She has always wanted to be a pastor's wife. It's more like her life her life purpose or her life path is always to be a pastor's wife, and then I want to be a pastor. So at that point we are really working perfectly instead of that compromise. And sometimes with the compromise there could be hurdles, definitely rising and falling.
Now you have to
and the emotions might not last for a very long time too. So that love she thinks she feels, maybe after giving birth to one or two, see finish go enter. Let me use Nigerian time.
Now I'm saying a pastor's wife. Is it like a full-time pastor's wife? Because for her to decide from the beginning, I want to marry a businessman, there must be a reason. Maybe she on her own, she loves business. She loves doing this business, racking heads with calculators and all those things.
Yes.
That's what she loves. Maybe that's the reason why she, planned on marrying a businessman. But now, choosing to marry you, it has to come as if she can compromise. You too will have to compromise, because some people, if they choose to marry that pastor, you don't expect them to come and be a full-time pastor's wife, like all her life centered in church.
I guess that's the whole point of being
Someone can still be a pastor's wife and still have a boutique somewhere. Someone can still be a pastor's wife and still own a business anywhere. You get? But I think that is where the compromise will come. If she can compromise, the man too can compromise. But at some point, I think she will need to open up, because maybe the intention of the pastor was to marry a kind of person that will be a full-time pastor's wife. Everything
standard.
You get. So it's on her own to open up to the man, to the pastor. Okay, I love you. Everything is is going smoothly, but there is this thing I've always wanted to do, and I'm agreeing to marry you. I would love to marry you. The love and everything is smoothly, but this particular one, I would like to be doing my own business while still doing church, services and other stuff. I have this, few picture of setting up a business, like maybe 10 boutiques in this state or different states. That was my plan, and I'm still planning to achieve it even after marrying you. Is it okay by you? Things like this. If you agree, it's okay by her, because at least even if she cannot marry that pastor, maybe a businessman, she can still marry a pastor and still have her own business. This life, you cannot always have everything you wanted just the way it is. That's life. But the way life unfold itself, you just have to swing along with it.
Well, using the same scenario, say this same issue, the pastor and the pastor's wife. Do you think during the point of dialogue, when they are trying to negotiate as to what is going to be what, but having in mind that they still love each other, but they do not come to an agreement, do you think it is enough to break up such relationships?
If there is no agreement, there will be no, peaceful marriage or peaceful coexistence. Except you on your own, if the pastor refuse, your offer or your proposal, if he actually refuse to, accept, if you're okay with it, if you think you can still compromise and go along with it, it's on you. It's your decision to make personally. But it has to be something that will make you happy. It's not a situation by which maybe after 5 years you now see one of your friends that you've been planning these things together, making wealth, making fame, out of the business you guys used to talk about together. At that time, you just wake up from your slumber and then start complaining, I'm not happy in this marriage anymore. I want to do this. Meanwhile, when the right time was there for you to make that decision, you couldn't make it. Maybe the feelings blinded you or something. But I think it's right there where you're having that discussion. The ball at that point is in your court to decide yes or no. Don't force yourself to do something you know at the long run you may not be able to handle it to the end.
Well, at the point of courtship, are there certain attributes a guy is supposed to look for in a woman before getting settled with her?
Certainly. So it varies.
Okay.
I may have my own. Ezekiel have. And even you as a lady, you have what you want from a guy.
You know, there are times where they will tell you that a woman will determine the peace you get in your home, which is actually very true. If you marry a troublesome wife, then you get trouble. If you get a peaceful wife, then you get peace at the end of the day. So, are there certain characteristics that should be tagged to a woman? Probably, okay, you now, for instance, you see this lady, and then you want to get married to her. That's what is in your heart. So you want to get married to her, but you need to look out for certain things. Yeah. Ezekiel, the same thing. He needs to look out for certain things. What are some of these similar characteristics between the both of you that men usually look out for when
I think, like I said, a normal human being, a man, will always want to marry a peaceful wife. You get someone that is peaceful. Apart from that, intellectually inclined, an intelligent person. You get, when I say intelligent, not everybody who can afford education to a certain level. Okay. You get, but no matter the level you are, you can still exhibit these intelligent qualities due to the way you handle issues. You get, like I explained before, there are issues that on a norm you could have circle out to be this disastrous, but you have these skills of handling issues very peacefully, making things that it was supposed to be end up in fight, end in peace, things like that. Almost every, I don't know if there is there are men out there that will love violence. They go to go and marry a woman that they will be fighting every day. They will be maybe they set wrestling ring in their parlor to be boxing every time. But from my own research, I know a good number of men out there, they love peaceful marriage, because if it's not peaceful, it will take a toll on whatever the children you bring up. If the parents keep fighting, quarreling every now and then, it will take a toll on the children. So there is need for peace. I think that is
with peace fully emphasized. I have this question.
Yes, go ahead.
Would a man naturally go for a lady he believes is submissive and compliant, or would he go for in quote high value woman that is industrious, successful in her field, independent, that has her say, that wants to go far in life, career woman, if I use that word, high value woman that knows what she wants and this is what she wants and she wants to do that? Would the man naturally go for such a woman, or for the submissive, compliant woman?
All right, I guess before you answer that question, we'll be going for a short break, and then when we get back, you'll do justice to Ezekiel's question.
Welcome back to Steve at Daybreak Africa. I asked a question as to whether men generally desire high-value women. When I say high-value women that are considered career-driven, women that like being out there, being independent, being, should I say the term, purposeful, or like chasing the bag, if I use that word, or would they prefer more submissive, homely, not necessarily non-career, but she's more submissive and compliant, and unlike the career-driven person. So, Sylvester, you wanted to spread the bullet at that point.
Yes, of course. in our lives as human, we have different kinds of men, or like, should I say, people with different, perspective or angle to life, the way they see life, or the way they see what they want, how they want it. So I am very sure that people that would love to settle with a submissive wife, obedient wife. But when you say submissive, to what extent? Sorry. Because you cannot be submissive to the point of, killing your dreams for another person. I believe there is a way these two things can work together. There is a way you can be submissive and still have what you want. It may not be to 100% like you expected, but if you can have 60%, is it not still fair? So in marriage, I don't see any reason why one should give up your dreams just to become a submissive wife. Though men, I know men want that, no doubt. But as a woman, are you willing to let go of your career to be a submissive woman? That's a question. That's why I know there are people that would love that for their own personal reason. Because there must be a reason. If you see a woman that doesn't want to be submissive to the point of killing her own dream to marry a man or for a man, it means she also have her own reason. So at that point, if you see a woman like that, it doesn't make her a horrible person. She knows what she wants. She's going for it. But as a man too, as a man, if at all you meet a woman that can give you what you want, that thing you want, that submissiveness, if you can see that woman, lucky for you. But don't come force someone's child to be submissive.
So it's more like someone can have it all. If you're going for a high value woman, an independent career, purpose-driven person, be rest assured you probably will see her thrice or 4 times a week at home. She wouldn't always take the kids to bed or always be there in the kitchen to make your meal. There are moments where she will not compromise because she's independent and she has her way of thinking and she wouldn't want to burn herself for you. So if you're going for that, be rest assured you're going with the entire package of a little bit of stubbornness here and there and competitiveness coming from her. You have
to get her, accept her for whatever comes with it.
And if you're going for the very compliant, submissive one, then be rest assured she might not be exactly purpose driven. All she would do is just
be totally happy.
Not be totally happy.
She may not be 100% happy, because a time will come in her life that she'll sit down and think, so if I did not marry my husband, I must have gotten to this level in life. At this point, I must have achieved my dreams, whatever I planned for. At that point, do you think she'll be happy? She'll be smiling and cooking a delicious meal for her husband. Thank you for helping me kill my dreams to marry you. At that point, it will be a down moment for her emotionally. Maybe for some seconds or minutes.
Now, I know you're not a lady, but I'm really tempted to ask this question at this point. We've been really dwelling on what the man needs. What about just a little bit, just general knowledge? I know you probably can't give me details, but what do you think women desire or the qualities they look forward to in a man? I know for a fact ladies wouldn't want to settle for less. They wouldn't want no compliance on this, but they want high value men that will bring things on the table while they probably bring nothing to that table. Just say, don't come after me just yet.
I'm coming after you.
They tell you they bring personality to the table or they bring themselves to the table.
Truthfully, a woman, I believe, will appreciate a man that allow them to do what they love.
Wow. Anything they love.
Like not like anything that that there are certain things that as a woman, even if you ask for this thing, it may not come. But there's some common thing that happiness, there are some things that you do and it makes you happy. You get? If you can give that to a woman, she will love you, she will adore anything that will make her happy, make her smile, make her feel like like herself, that confidence. If you can give that to a woman, I believe she will be happy. You get? I think the whole thing centers on happiness. It centers on happiness. Do I know that there are other girls that loves this extravagant lifestyle, but that's what still makes them happy, though. You get? If you can, give a woman this luxurious lifestyle, if you can fund her, she can be flaunting whatever she wants, that makes her happy, and she will love you for that.
So that's all what they look for. Luxury.
Not
Just
all
give
of
us the
them,
good
like I
things of
said.
life, and
Not all of them.
love will flow like milk and
We are
honey.
human. We are human. As our thinkers are not equal, so is human beings. We all have things that are important for us, what we want. So if you can give a lady that thing that is important to her, she'll be happy with you.
I think someone is
That's
itchy
simple.
to actually say something.
I'm not itchy to say anything. I think he has said it all. Just like fingers are not equal, different women want different things, but it all centers on the ability of the man to give the lady the freedom to feel fulfilled, to feel herself, to feel not restrained or caged, for her to have a purpose. You understand? Now, some women are after men who would allow them to do their business. Some women are after men who allow them use their certificates and actually go out there and work. Some women would want men who would spend lavishly on them and show them to the whole world, always putting them out there that this is my wife and I'm proud of her and I love her. That's just what they need. So it depends on individual personalities. Meanwhile, it all boils down to the ability of the man to give them that freedom to do what they want to do, to feel fulfilled. Unlike situations where we refer back to the past as our fathers always believing a woman is supposed to be in the kitchen. That era has passed, and so many women, I don't want to give I don't want to say 100%, but a great percentage of women these days fall under that category that believe that women should be given the opportunity to explore life and do whatever they want. So I think that's my own perspective about things.
Okay. Let's talk a little about red flags and deal breakers. How best can one distinguish between a minor flaw and deal breakers? Yes, because sometimes it's quite hard to distinguish. I mean, things you think are minor, sometime in marriage will become a serious deal breaker. You could have someone that thinks, okay, maybe your lady can cook. You'd be like, and don't worry, we'll always order from, we'll just order. And then 2 years into marriage, you
go order, you go tired, you go order.
Yes, still ordering, no.
At that point, it becomes a deal breaker, not a minor flaw anymore.
So
how can we distinguish this?
I think it's just a matter of just have to believe that you are the chosen. If you are the chosen,
chosen one.
I don't worry, everything will be okay. But anyhow it be, you go there right.
Okay.
But on the norm, say you are sure, you are not like that choosing. You just want to see things the way it is. I think we all have our priorities. When it comes to deal breaker, it varies as the case may be, because what you tend to see as to place emphasis on as a deal breaker may not be the same for me. For instance, now you may choose to marry a woman that cannot cook. You may be okay with that. Of course, if you can cook, it's okay by you. And me like this, I may say no, me I cannot cook. If I cannot cook, why would I go and marry a woman that cannot cook? We are two different people. So it varies. So what it is for you may not be the same for me. But personally, if you say 100% of the things you would want from a woman, a lady, to do, maybe like being able to cook, or let's start from the dating perspective now. From that dating, if a woman can come to your house, she's been coming for a long time, you never even offered to see your kitchen. She never offers to see your kitchen. Even if she visits your house and you, as a man, suggest her, that day she will not be happy with you. Or she comes and you are in the kitchen preparing something, she will not even come there. Baby, come out too, I'm here. And you say, I'm in the kitchen. Okay, well, I'm waiting. She wouldn't even want to show face in the kitchen. To some people, that's a deal breaker. To some people, if she's always demanding, anytime you see her call, you just know that
it's demand.
Yes.
Demand and supply.
Yes.
Billion.
That's a deal breaker. In case, because if as a lady you cannot just call your man to ask how are you doing, how was your day, and things like that, if you cannot just call him to ask for that, the only time you can call him is to ask for money or to ask for anything. It has to be to ask for something. To some people, that's a deal breaker. They will be, this woman is too selfish for me. I'm struggling. She could not even see the way things are going. Always asking for money. So some people, that's a deal breaker. Another thing is, I want to visit my uncle or I want to visit my mom. Babe, can you come with me? Can you accompany me? And she will always find excuse. Anytime, if you bring that up, she will always find excuse. To some people, that's a deal breaker. But if you don't want to see my people, that means you're not ready to cover with me. Okay. The same goes the other way. You may want to know more about her to the extent of knowing one or two people from her side. Get to know where she's from in that way, and she's always finding excuse to make sure that conversation doesn't go over. Some people, that's a deal breaker.
Well, regarding these major and minor issues, I think from the aspect of courtship down to marriage, I think that's where we've had many issues, especially with the divorce rate in Nigeria go wrong. So what are some of these factors that you feel most couples these days are deciding to just keep away? Probably they don't pay much attention to, that are actually causing the high rate of divorce in our societies today.
I think pressure is part of the reason. Pressure from the family, from your peers. That is one of the reasons why we have high rates this divorce these days. Because if from your house, your people or your parent is pressuring you, you're already 30, you must marry. In short, they make it mandatory. You must marry before next year. Your mom will call you. Make sure this year doesn't pass you without, bringing home a man. That pressure alone can make you make that bad choice, the choice that is not good for you. Or sometimes they already choose a man for you, or you choose a woman for you. Someone that you do not really know that much. You guys have not spent time together to get to know each other. So you go along with it just to please your parents. At the end of the day, you'll fall out. Or sometimes not even, the pressure is not from anybody. It's just in your head. All your friends are married already and you are the only person single. At that point, some people will just go for any available man or any available woman, so long as they could set up, make a wedding plan, and then everybody comes and call you the bride. They just want to get married. It doesn't matter how long the marriage will last. They just want to get married. That is it. Even if it's for a week, let them just have that marriage. At least have been married once now. It doesn't matter. So that's part of the reason, and so on and so forth. Some people, there is how someone will present his or herself. You get, maybe you are looking for a particular kind of person, then you see someone that looks like that with that kind of characteristics, not knowing that it's a pretense. She will just pretend. She will not reveal her real character until after marriage. So when she already said I do, and you pack moving together, that is when you see the real person. At that point, you may be forced to, okay, let's go our separate ways. But I think the one that is very common is pressure from both peers and the family.
And so what communication style indicates compatibility? We have a different communication style. People communicate differently. You have people that communicate calmly, you have people that communicate with dagger and shield. just tell you there is too much salt, say they have to bring out knife, and forklift out and tell you the salt now is too much. What do you want to do about it? People have different communication skills. Now, how does communication skill bring about compatibility? Is it necessary for both persons to have calm, demeanor while communicating? Just say serious things calmly, or is it necessary if she's a fighter, you have to be a fighter to actually get? So you could see where just to settle dispute, or what are we eating for breakfast? Maybe in noodles or bread and tea. You have to really shout and wail for 1 hour. Before you finally decide on it, and then they cook the food happily and eat. So how could we come to terms with these various communication?
Well, the way I'm seeing things, I think would fall into that category of carrying machete, knife, and fork. The way I'm seeing things.
It's a communication style, isn't it?
No, I think that's the one you would like, but it varies. I think when it comes to communication skill, it has to be something that the two of you are okay with. There is a way you can call someone on phone and to talk for 2 hours. It will still be like, okay, it's still 20 minutes. You keep talking, but it's as if you've not spent a lot of time enough. You keep going. It's already 3 hours, you're still talking. You enjoy talking to this person. So whatever you say, she's responding, and the two of you are flowing well. That flow, free flow, is what you're looking for. It's not someone that if you ask you question, now one question, you return it with question instead of
yes, things like that. I'm not saying it's me. Why are you guys laughing? I'm not saying it was.
Oh God! But it happens. Yes, there are some couples that question comes with question instead of response.
But is it okay if you adapt? Let's say you have a fellow where if you call the person and you'll be like, how are you? How are things? The person will ask you if you're sick or something is wrong. Probably the person enjoy you when you call, you shout, where are you? Where have you been? I've been looking for you.
Don't be surprised that people like that.
People like, yeah, he's concerned now. But if you call, I'll be like, hello, where are you? You'll be like, are you sick? What is wrong with you? Is something, So is it okay to adopt that system?
So this is what happens. If you are a kind of person that used to shout on call, whenever you call, you'll be, panting, raking and all those things, then the woman or the man is used to that one already. That is who you are to him or her. But one day, just call and you're using this calm tune, talking to her. She'll be shocked
trying
now.
to act nice.
What is going on?
Probably thought you have cheated, that you're trying to be nice.
So that is where the question will come from. When you are who you are not, or pretending to be who you are not, a day will come that this secret will reveal itself. But no doubt, there are people that love fighting every time. That fighting,
it keeps the love flowing.
You get
without fight, it's more like
the fire. Without the fire, it's too boring. Some people don't like boring relationship. That means
we know them.
Peace is boring to some people. The peaceful relationship is kind of boring to them. I can just be sitting and be discussing calmly. It's
not possible.
It must be no.
There has to be pillow fights.
Exactly, to some people it's just like that. It's just like that. People enjoy different things. It's human nature.
So you try to just adopt and get things going.
If it's okay by you, if you are good, if that's what you want,
you can. Okay.
If that's what you
that's
want.
What you want.
But also know that if you want it, it has to be the same with your partner. If she enjoys it too, you guys are good to go. But at the end of the day, You guys might end up enjoying your neighbor or anybody tries to come. I may visit you. I don't know. This is a normal or usual routine. I see you guys carrying bottle and match it. If I do not know you, I mean, just what is going on? No, I try to separate. At that point, I don't put myself or.
Why you will leave the fact and face you?
That may not even be the case. Maybe accidentally. While you are thinking they are fighting or they are trying to injure each other, you try to separate accidentally. Knife touch you or bottle touch your head. So either way, there is danger. It's
the person that said you have to be careful for what you want. He knows what he was talking about.
You have to be careful for what you wish for, because you don't know what comes with it.
A little about emotional connection just before we go. How would you know if emotional connection is present? Just before we go. I mean, emotional intelligence, the emotional connection. You could see someone and just like the person, but how would you know if, over time the connection is still there? Sometimes love could be strange, but how would you know, even if you're still acting crazy or stupid at some point, the connection is still there?
There are some people that will act crazy when it comes to important things. They will calm down and talk to you. Okay. There is how you guys will fight and quarrel before you know it. If I brought up the issue, maybe I'm at fault. You get, then the quarrel got heated, and before you know it, I got a call. Maybe I have issue from my office, or any of my siblings, or anybody from my place is sick. At that point, getting the call, maybe my mood change. At that point, you see from a perspective, if there is that emotional connection. It doesn't matter what you guys were fighting about. She will also calm down, come to you. What is going on? What is happening, baby? Baby, you can talk to me. Things like that. You can feel the connection.
Okay.
I think.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
No, thank you for joining us, and it was a really interesting discourse.
She was smiling all
very
true,
sure
smiling all true.
He would have to continue with you later.
Because the way Ezekiel started, I'm still.
I'm a curious learner. I just want to learn.
Are you really a learner?
I am. I have to learn from experienced bachelors like you. So
the Lord will see me through.
There's need to learn from masters, grandmasters in this case.
Oh God! So
happily,
I'm not even.
He's a happy bachelor.
Bachelor at this point.
Happy bachelor.
The both of them are
very proud.
So you can shoot your shots. Thank you for joining us on this episode.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
It was really interesting.
Which will brings us to the end for the episode on Daybreak Africa for the week. Of course, you do have a wonderful weekend ahead. I remain Ezekiel Ogar.
And I am Angela Daku.
Yes, there is news on your device, but hearing an analyst's perspective is the icing on the cake that Daybreak Africa provides. Start your day with prompt analysis of the latest news, trends,
Exactly, and then you see these people, they're so agile, they can do a lot of
politics.
We have to go back to that regional system. That is the foundation of this country, for God's sake.
Entertainment, fashion, culinary skills,
So first I'm going to be pouring the oil inside because I will
religious and cultural events, amongst others, on Daybreak Africa.
For a rich mix of analysis on current issues, tune in daily from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on channel 480 and 124 on Startimes.